Most cruise passengers think if something goes wrong, the cruise line will fix it. They assume there are warnings. They assume there's a heads up. They assume there's a chance to say no. There usually isn't. Some of the biggest cruise problems don't happen loudly. They happen quietly. A cabin downgrade you weren't told about. A reservation that disappears. A note added to your account that you never see. And by the time you realize what's happened, it's already too late to undo it. In this video, I'm sharing real cruise secrets passengers only learn after the damage is done. The kind you don't hear at the terminal, don't see in the brochure, and definitely don't get warned about on board. If you've cruised before, some of these will make you uncomfortable. If you haven't cruised yet, they could save your entire trip. Let's start with one that has shocked more passengers than almost anything else. Number 1. If your cabin is downgraded, the cruise line doesn't have to warn you. Most people think a cabin downgrade would come with, I don't know, an email, a phone call, a polite little, hey, just letting you know? Nope. What actually happens is this. You arrive at the port, you're excited, you're already mentally on holiday. And then you check your app or your paperwork, and suddenly your balcony has turned into a window. Or your window has turned into a very enthusiastic wall. And the cruise line will say the same thing every time. Operational reasons. Which is cruise speak for, this is happening and it's already done. Here's the part passengers only learn after it's too late. The moment you check in, board the ship, or unpack your bag, you've basically accepted the downgrade. Your leverage drops fast. Really fast. I've seen people say, oh, it's fine. We'll deal with it later. Later never comes. The people who get refunds or upgrades are the ones who push back before boarding, calmly, politely, but firmly. Once you're on board, guest services suddenly has a lot fewer options. So if your cabin ever looks wrong, smaller, different, or suspiciously cheaper than what you paid for, stop. Do not swipe your card. Do not unpack. Do not say, it'll be okay. Because once you do, the cruise line's favorite phrase kicks in. I'm sorry, but at this point, and that's when you learn this secret the hard way. Before we continue, if this video is already helping you, please give it a like. It tells YouTube you want to see more real cruise content like this, not the glossy brochure version. All right, let's keep going. Number 2. Cruise lines quietly flag problem passengers. This one shocks people because no one thinks they could ever be a problem passenger. You weren't rude, you weren't yelling, you just complained a few times. Maybe asked for a refund. Maybe did a chargeback once. Maybe tagged the cruise line on social media. And that's all it takes. Cruise lines keep internal notes on passengers. You never see them. You're never told. There's no email saying, congratulations, you've been flagged. But later, weird things start happening. Your future booking gets canceled for operational reasons. Your loyalty perks suddenly don't apply. Guest services is polite, but very firm, very final. And you're sitting there thinking, why am I being treated like this? This is the part passengers only learn after it's too late. Those notes follow you. Across ships, across sailings, sometimes across brands. I've seen passengers say, but I was right to complain. And you might have been, but cruise lines don't track who was right. They track who was expensive. The smartest cruisers don't stop complaining altogether. They just learn how and when to do it. Calm, quiet, on board, in person. No threats, no chargebacks unless you're prepared for consequences. Because once you're flagged, there's no reset button, and nobody tells you that up front. Number 3. Your keycard activity can be used against you in disputes. Most passengers think their keycard is just a room key and a way to buy drinks. It's not. That little card tracks a lot more than people realize. Door openings, bar scans, casino entries, timestamps, locations, even how often you tap it, and passengers usually only find this out during an argument. You'll say something like, I was in my cabin resting, and guest services will calmly reply, our system shows your card was used at the bar at 10:42. You'll say, I didn't have that many drinks, and they'll pull up a scan history that says otherwise. Here's the part nobody warns you about. You don't get to see this data unless it's being used against you. You can't request it in advance. You can't dispute it on board easily. And once the cruise ends, access to it is basically gone. So when there's a billing dispute, a behavior complaint, or an incident report, the cruise line isn't guessing. They're checking logs. Passengers learn this after it's too late, When they realize the ship knows exactly where they were, and they don't have proof of their own. This doesn't mean you should panic. It just means the smartest cruisers are very aware that every tap tells a story, and the ship is the one writing it. Number 4. The ship's medical center can void your travel insurance claim. Most passengers assume the ship's medical center is just a doctor. Neutral. Helpful and on your side. It isn't quite that simple. The medical center is run by the cruise line, and the notes written there matter more than people realize. Those notes are often the first and main report insurance companies look at later. Here's how passengers learn this too late. Something happens on board. You get sick, you fall, you have a medical episode. You're treated, maybe given medication, maybe told you're okay to continue the cruise. Months later, when you file an insurance claim back home, it gets denied. Why? Because the ship's medical report says things like, passenger appeared stable, or condition not severe, or alcohol may have been a contributing factor, even when that's not how it felt to you at all. And by then, you can't change it. You can't add context. You can't correct the wording. Passengers are stunned when they realize that what was written in a medical room at sea quietly decided the outcome of a claim months later. This doesn't mean you shouldn't seek medical help on board. You absolutely should. It just means this is one of those cruise secrets people only learn after it's too late. What gets written down can matter more than what actually happened. Number 5. The casino tracks more than just your gambling. Most passengers think the cruise casino only cares about one thing: how much money you put in the machines. Not true. The casino tracks how long you play, how often you play, where you sit, when you cash out, and yes, how many free drinks you scan for while you're there. This is why two people can spend roughly the same amount and have completely different outcomes. One gets free cruises, drinks, and offers non-stop. The other gets nothing. And passengers only learn this after it's too late, when they're standing at the casino desk saying, "But I spent way more than my friend." What the casino actually saw was someone who jumped machines, cashed out quickly, disappeared for hours, and came back just long enough to grab another drink. Cruise casinos reward behavior, not just spending. The wild part? No one explains this. There's no sign that says, "Sit longer and you'll get better offers." You only find out after the cruise when the offers don't come. So if you've ever wondered why some passengers seem to magically get comps while others don't, now you know. And yes, most people learn this one after the cruise is already over. Number 6. Cruise lines can cancel your dining reservations without telling you. You carefully pick your dining time. You book that specialty restaurant weeks ahead. You even plan your outfits around it. And then you show up, and your name isn't there. No email, no notification, no warning. Just a polite, very calm, "I'm sorry, I don't see your reservation." Here's what passengers only learn after it's too late. Dining reservations are not locked the way people think they are. If the ship reshuffles capacity, changes show schedules, or adjusts table flow, reservations can be quietly removed or moved. And if you didn't screenshot your booking before boarding, there's often no proof it ever existed. I've seen people swear they booked something months ago and guest services genuinely can't find it. At that point, it's not even about blame. It's just gone. The passengers who recover from this are the ones who check their reservations the moment they board. Not day 2, not after unpacking, immediately. Everyone else learns this one while standing at the host stand, hungry, dressed up, and very annoyed. Number 7. The muster drill can quietly lock your spending privileges. A lot of passengers treat the muster drill like homework. "I'll do it later. We'll finish unpacking first. It's fine. We'll get to it." Until they go to order a drink, or swipe for a coffee, or try to buy something in a shop. Declined. And suddenly you're standing there thinking, "That's weird. My card was working earlier." Here's the secret passengers only learn after it's too late. Until you complete the muster drill, the ship can quietly restrict your onboard account. No announcement, no warning, no pop-up saying, "Hey, go do this now." Even on cruises with app-based drills, this still happens. The system isn't being mean, it's being firm. The worst part? Most people find out in public, at a bar, or a restaurant, with a line behind them. So yes, do the muster drill early, not because it's fun, but because nothing kills vacation vibes faster than your card not working and having no idea why. Number 8. You can be charged gratuities even after you've already paid them. A lot of passengers swear they've already paid gratuities. They remember adding them at booking, or their travel agent bundled them in, or they're part of a package that definitely included tips, and yet, they still get charged again on board. Here's why passengers only learn this after it's too late. Some prepaid gratuities only cover certain crew categories, certain days, or certain parts of the cruise. The rest get added automatically, day by day, to your onboard account. Most people don't notice because it's not one big charge, it's small daily amounts that quietly add up. And by the time they check their final statement, the cruise is over, they're home, and refunds suddenly become complicated. The passengers who avoid this are the ones who check their onboard account early and often, not just on the last night when everyone else is lining up at guest services. Everyone else learns this lesson while scrolling through their statement thinking, wait, I'm sure I already paid for this. Number 9. The ship can change ports without refunding your excursions. Most passengers assume if a port changes, the money comes back. Logical, right? Not always. Cruise lines can swap, skip, or shorten ports for operational reasons. Weather, congestion, fuel issues, you name it. That part is usually unavoidable. What passengers only learn after it's too late is this. Third-party excursions don't automatically refund just because the ship changed plans. So the port disappears, but the charge doesn't. If the excursion wasn't booked directly through the cruise line, you're suddenly stuck chasing refunds on your own, sometimes across time zones, languages, and very slow email replies. Even worse, some people don't notice the charge until weeks later, when the credit card statement arrives and the cruise already feels like a distant memory. The safest passengers either book ship excursions for high-risk ports, or they read the cancellation terms very, very carefully. Everyone else learns this one after they get home and think, why did I pay for something that never happened? Number 10. Missing one port can quietly wipe out future cruise credit. Most passengers think missing a port is annoying, but contained. You miss the day, you're upset, you move on. What they don't realize is that certain cruise bookings, loyalty offers, and future cruise credits are tied to full itinerary completion. If you're marked as a no-show for a segment, whether you missed embarkation, got delayed getting back to the ship, or didn't reboard in time, the system can automatically cancel benefits attached to that sailing. Passengers usually find out months later. They go to use a future cruise credit, or rebook with a loyalty offer. And suddenly it's gone. No warning email, no explanation that makes sense. Just, this benefit is no longer valid. By the time you ask why, the answer is basically, you didn't complete the sailing. This is why experienced cruisers treat all aboard times like gospel, even when it feels generous. Because missing one port doesn't always end when the ship leaves. Sometimes it follows you to your next cruise. Number 11. Late disembarkation can cost you future priority status. Most passengers think disembarkation is just a logistics thing. Get off when they call your group or a little later if you're not in a rush. What passengers don't realize is that disembarkation timing is tracked. Repeatedly ignoring instructions, missing assigned times, or holding up clearance doesn't usually cause drama in the moment. No one yells, no one makes a scene. But it can quietly affect your profile. Passengers only learn this after it's too late, when future cruises feel different. Priority boarding isn't quite as smooth. Special lanes don't seem to apply. Things that used to just work suddenly don't. There's no email saying, you lost priority status because you disembarked late twice. It just stops happening. This doesn't mean you have to sprint off the ship. It just means following instructions consistently matters more than people think. And yes, most passengers have no idea this is even a thing. Number 12. Ship photographers own your image, not you. Most passengers think cruise photos are just souvenirs. You smile, you pose, you decide later whether to buy them. What they don't realize is that by boarding the ship, you've already agreed to a photo release buried deep in the ticket terms. That means photos taken on board can legally be used for things like marketing displays, training material, or promotional content. Even if you never purchased the photo, passengers usually only learn this after it's too late, when they see themselves on a screen, a brochure, or a slideshow they definitely didn't sign up for. No separate consent form. No, do you agree? Pop-up. Just fine print that most people never read. Now, will your vacation photo end up on a billboard? Probably not. But the fact that it could is what surprises people. It's one of those cruise secrets that makes you go, wait, seriously. Number 13. Crew contracts limit what they're allowed to tell you. Have you ever asked a crew member a simple question and gotten a very careful, very vague answer? Something like, "I'm not allowed to say," or "That's not something I can discuss." Passengers often think the crew member is being unhelpful. They're not. Crew contracts are extremely strict. Staff can know exactly why something changed, a port swap, a policy decision, a compensation rule, and still be contractually forbidden from explaining it. Passengers only learn this after it's too late, when they realize the person they're frustrated with literally cannot give them a straight answer without risking their job. This is why seasoned cruisers go straight to guest services for certain issues and don't pressure frontline crew for explanations they're not allowed to give. Once you understand this, a lot of cruise interactions suddenly click into place. Number 14. Price drops after sailing don't trigger refunds. A lot of passengers avoid checking prices once they board. They assume it would just annoy them. They're right. Cruise prices can drop after the ship sails, sometimes by a lot. Last-minute sales, inventory reshuffles, or quiet promotions can make the same cabin hundreds cheaper. And once you're on board, you're locked in. It doesn't matter if you booked direct. It doesn't matter if the price drops the next day. There are no adjustments once the cruise has started. Passengers usually learn this after it's too late when they get home and see someone post, "Just booked the same cruise for way less." It stings, but there's nothing you can do about it. That's why experienced cruisers stop price watching once they sail. Not because they don't care, but because the answer will always be the same. Number 15. Leaving the ship last gives you leverage most passengers never get. Most passengers can't wait to get off the ship. They're packed early, bags out, standing in line, ready to go the second they are allowed. And that's exactly why they lose their leverage. Here's the secret passengers only learn after it's too late. Once you walk off the ship, your problems go with you, but your ability to fix them stays on board. Unresolved charges, missing items, dining disputes, gratuity issues, cabin problems you meant to mention. Once you disembark, everything becomes emails, forms, waiting, and "we'll look into it." And suddenly, nothing gets fixed. The passengers who stay on board until the final calls, they get things done. Guest services has time. Supervisors are available. Refunds and adjustments suddenly become possible. I've seen people get charges removed, credits added, and issues resolved in the final hour that others spent weeks chasing after they got home. So no, don't rush off unless you need to. Sometimes the smartest move is being the last one to leave. That's the cruise secret most people only learn after it's already too late.